Thank you so much to Sleepless Reader. I'm really sorry I made you cry, but I'm so glad you liked the video. Thanks also to Baku Her Hot Wife. Did I choose your comment because it felt close to home? Yes. Am I ashamed? Absolutely not. I really love your name, so never change, please. Love you guys, have a nice video, and don't forget to comment if you want to be featured in the next video. Bye! He picks a single eye out of the covers and glares at the violently pink spoon of medicine in her hand, eyes narrowing almost comically. I'm not putting that in my mouth. Come on, Todoroki, it only lasts for 2 seconds. He scrunches his nose, turning his face away indignantly, burying his head in the blankets to avoid her pleading eyes. No. Pursing her lips as she watched him, she silently handed him a wad of tissues, and he barely takes them, blowing his nose loudly before adding the rumpled tissue to the ever-growing mountain next to his bed. I hate being sick. He flops back down onto the bed, closing his eyes and sighing loudly. She hated seeing Todoroki like this, no longer pouting playfully or scrunching up his nose. He looked tired. Dark purple ring underneath his eyes and his pale skin tinged gray. His blonde head matted and body weak as his breath tried to heave another breath through his congested throat. Another violent coughing fit rocked his body, and it felt like him feeling more drained and sore than before. Come on, Todoroki, just one swallow, babe. I promise it make you feel better and it help you sleep for a few more hours. His chapped lip bent into a small frown, but he opened his mouth dejectedly. After a few more moments of stubborn silence, she quickly slipped the contents of the spoon into his mouth, hurriedly bringing a glass of water to his lips almost immediately afterward. Ugh, tastes like someone vomit mixed with... A hacking cough cut off his sentence midway, and she's half grateful for the well-timed interruption. Come on, get some rest, Todoroki, okay? She tucked the blanket back up to his chin and rearranged his pillow again, her fingers trailing his hairline softly. She presses her lips to his clammy forehead, brushing away some flyaway hairs from his head before tapping his nose slightly. He blinks up at her with those big tired eyes, and she smiles softly at him, kissing his forehead lightly once more to try to soothe the worried wrinkle that appeared. Feel better? On the outside. Still feeling pretty crappy. Except now I don't have the disgusting cherry aftertaste in my mouth from the medicine. But on the inside, yeah, I'm good. I mean, as long as I'm with your presence. Of course, you're being unusually cheesy. You're drugged up on medication. Do you know what will make me feel better than some revolting cherry medicine? What do you prescribe, Dr. Shoto? He smiled up faintly at her. Stay with me. You already hinted that earlier, actually. Well, you're literally planning to make a move and then leave this room. His voice is small, like a little child asking for their favorite toy when he sees her stand up and walk towards the door. Well, I kinda need to refill your glass of water, but that would take forever. And you should be sleeping, Todoroki. Maybe, but I just want to hold your hand. You know, most guys usually tell their girlfriend to stay away from them when they're sick, so they don't infect them and all, redwood chivalry and all that, you know. She hears Todoroki chuckle into her shoulders, and he buries his head deeper into the crook of her neck, his breath warm over her colored bones. I'm trying to suck out your health to replenish mine. She chuckles and finds his cold hand underneath the cover before lacing her finger with his hands loose against her, though she can still feel him gripping her finger weakly. He leans his head onto her shoulder, tuft of hair sticking up in old hangers and brushing her cheek. He swings his legs over hers with a lazy movement, trapping her in between his two cold skin and two hated covers that were no doubt full of his germs from his cough. What a gentleman, equipped with the snotty tissues and wrapped in a germ-infested blanket cape. Shut up, I'm trying to rest. He can practically hear her pout, and he laughed lightly. In a few minutes, she could hear a soft snore emanating from his mouth, his lips still pressed to her shoulder, and no matter how weak his grip is, it still makes her stomach flutter.
약속을 지키니 시간의 가세 같은